Leith has changed since I lived here. I lived here about 23, 24 years ago. It's changed in that a lot of the tenements are lighter and brighter, but as you go further down to the shore, none of that development was there, you know. It wasn't yuppified or gentrified when I lived here, but it's fantastic. I mean, I'm all for that, as long as it includes the people who have always lived here and appreciates what this place was and means to the city of Edinburgh.
When we came across this building, it was after having considered lots of options. Everyone just said, "Wow, look at that space! What we could do here." So challenging. I knew it would be challenging. Yeah, it was just it was a hidden gem. Initially, we wanted to change it all in a multi-million-pound refurbishment, and work with architects to develop a total revamp, which would have cost £3.5 million. It became obvious to us that nobody was going to fund that in a one-hour. So we've gone this kind of gradual, phased approach.
Who's that? So at the back of the building, it's more workshop-style studios, and in here, we've got a ceramic artist. This used to be the bar. This used to be the officers' headquarters of the Royal Scots Army Barracks. Hello.
And it was myself and other councillors that were pushing to make sure this did work here, because this building would have probably just had something done to it. They'd have mezzanined it, they'd have gradually worn down the planning committee, and it would have probably just ended up with the frontage and flats.
The building development has been done in phases. The first phase was really the electrics and all the really hidden work. The second phase was to make it fully open and accessible to the public. Phase 3 is going to be funded by growing community assets. Edinburgh was losing a lot of artists straight after art school.
The whole project is geared towards building space that we lease.
Because they couldn't afford to get a studio that they could work in. Hello, out of the blue.
We've got a fantastic building and we aim to improve it.
We've got a studio starting from a civil is about £60, going up to several hundred here. So what is it you do?
I think it's a balance between money and a desire to make art.
It doesn't go by length of time necessarily. There's other criteria as to why people get studios or not.
Essentially, I was working at home and going a little bit insane and not speaking to anyone all day long, and that was not very good for my creative energy, let's say, or my mental health. Mm-hmm. And so I was aware that I needed to get a studio space and thought, okay, and put my name on this list and was blessed with a space that has, revolutionised my life.
Probably not very likely, but they want to share was one more, but I could ask them.
There is a lack of space. I meet people who are often going, I can't get a studio anywhere in Edinburgh. There's a waiting list here and a waiting list there.
The grant funding we've had from GCA has put down a very vital piece of the jigsaw to make us sustainable, because it's towards building new studio space, which both helps to alleviate the shortage in the area and in Edinburgh of studio space, but also brings vital income to us as an organisation to pay our mortgage.
However, we don't have any available. That's. We don't have actually any spaces available, which is nice. happens, yeah. I mean, you know, if somebody moves out, which doesn't happen that often. I could add you to a waiting list if you like. The best thing to do is to email me. It's Nicole, Nicole. We've got over 300 people on the list, and I would say on average probably around 10 applications for studios every week.
What Growing Community Assets is going to allow us to do is to build on top of these units.
On top of those that you see on the ground floor, mezzanine.
Provide lots more space to allow artists to work and to allow the projects to flourish. And as you can see, this space at the moment is a flexible, beautiful environment for people to show their art and for people to dance and for people to do various workshops.
Make me slightly busier. but I like being busy and
That was actually the original aim of Out of the Blue, was to break down those barriers which are often imposed by buildings and by convention. We're not just sort of opening the doors and showing art. It's a lot about participation.
Okay, welcome everybody to the annual general meeting of the Friends of Dalmeny Street Park group.
Out of the Blue are an excellent organisation. They've really adapted and tried to encompass the whole of the community. They are an art-based service, but I think that they've taken a big interest in the park. And this is some of the young people that we've been working with.
It's really boring. It's very boring.
What do you think it's like today?
Today, good.
Very good, very good.
Everyone's here and everyone's enjoying themselves. The dance that happened every weekend, well, more people would come to the park and we would all have a nice time.
People are popular. It's much more safe when we're adults.
You meet all the wickets from the neighbourhood as well, and parents come to play as well, so I think every neighbourhood should have something like this.
I like doing what she's.
Do you know the difference between a nice plant and grass?
Oh, gloves. Yeah, I'll get you some gloves, shall I?
It's a vast working class population, you know, in this part of Edinburgh that is often forgotten about. Spaces like this are essential to the well-being of the population, I think. This is great to have all this light and space and in some way that people can come in and out. I love the fact that before we went in there was a yoga class going on before us, so that's great. Part of community stuff, which is where all arts places should be, in my opinion.
It's all looking for some other way to keep a city going, you know, on an economic basis. It's all part of culture, entertainment and tourism. Somewhere to go.
Well, I used to walk past here and it was a drill hall, and it seemed to be shut down. And then I came a few weeks ago and I walked through the front door and I was gobsmacked. It's fantastic, it's light, it's airy, it's dynamic, there's activity, there's movement, there's excitement. It's fantastic. Who needs this?
Today we've got the Out of the Blue Arts Market, which is an opportunity for artists from within the drill hall and from throughout the city to sell their wares. And it's a really important day because it offers support that we can give to enable them to make a living. And if they're making a living and they're happy, we're happy.
Yeah, it's quite nice when it's a little bit calmer occasionally. I mean, it's kind of, you know, ebbs and flows, kind of, you know, you never know. I mean, there's some stuff going but it's fairly calm. It's good to get a different perspective sometimes.